Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is on the Anvil episode 45.
Yes, 45.
Woo! And I added Chris got me a stream deck, so I have some technology, and I don't quite have it there. You know what? I have to turn off studio mode. Maybe that'll work. So we're armed with new technology. Let's see if it works. Yeah.
Yeah. The general idea is now when he wants to change a scene, he can just do it from his desk instead of having to go up to the computer. Am I still quiet, or is this good now?
Oh, I didn't even plug you in. Man,
I'm not
we're gonna do take two. How many times have we done this? 100 hours, and I can't
We've passed 100 hours of On the Anvil.
There we go. All right, welcome to On the Anvil, episode 45. This is the show that, without any hiccups or any flaws or any tech errors or any human errors, brings you behind the scenes, behind the curtain here at Dwarven Forge, so you can see what we're working on, hear about our thought process, hear what's in development, and just hang out for a couple hours with Chris and I and talk about terrain with no tech problems whatsoever.
Today is another one of our patented build and chill streams where we kind of just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So
while building
come to mind,
while building whatever you want to build.
While building whatever you want to build, yeah. So we also, so once we get going, we'll put out a poll asking what terrain do you guys want to see and build with today, and we'll just start taking questions. Actually, just realized another news item that I'm going to stick on here real quick. Because somebody in chat mentioned it.
Yeah, so that's
awesome.
It. We're gonna build. We're gonna answer questions, and but first the news. Let's go. Oh,
yeah, the news. Hit
first
that. You don't gotta go up there anymore. Hit that thing.
News. I'm so gonna hook up electric guitar sound effects to this stream deck, and by me I mean you.
Yeah. You can. Yeah, let me just come over to your house and set that up. Or I guess I can just send you the file. Yeah.
All right. So what's in the news? What's
in the news? First off, we want to get ahead of something real quick. As Nate mentioned, we never have technical issues on the show, and that's especially true for if you don't see us using a DSLR today. It's definitely not because we're having tech issues with the DSLR.
It's a choice. We're choosing to just be a little more...
We're using exclusively webcams today due to an entirely artistic decision. So, no tech issues related to that.
It has nothing to do with the camera not giving us a feed through the HDMI at all, for no apparent reason.
Yeah. No. And we won't be troubleshooting that tomorrow to figure out what's going on so that we can have it back for the next week.
No. We just want to have a raw, we just want to have a real experience. We want to keep it real. It's too, the DSLR is too polished. Having seen a nice close up of the terrain, that's psh, it's just.
You realize the human eye can really only see in 1080p 24 frames per second. So the webcam is actually just a much closer representation of reality.
The webcam's 8-bit. It's
yeah, that's fair. The human eye can only see in pixels.
Yeah. So, so what other news do we have besides not having any tech problems whatsoever?
Outside of our ship being completely shipshape,
always.
We've got our Kickstarter of the week. We want to go ahead and highlight. This is one of those ones where we're highlighting a friend of the Forge. One of our friends, Celeste Konowich, her group, the Venture Maidens, started a Kickstarter for a source book. And it all looks extremely good. It's going very, very well. Celeste is an incredibly talented writer, and everybody else that she has around her on this project is also incredibly talented. It's going to be a very good source book. I'm seeing the stretch goals they're unlocking, and it's a lot of really good stuff. I think they just unlocked a bunch of new Fey touched options, which is always exciting. I love corrupting existing monsters with special abilities. And
they still have another, I don't know, several weeks to go, and they open. They kicked down the door, and off they go. And they're the Venture Maidens. They did when we were doing Dungeon and Doom, Descent into Doom. They were one of our groups. It was the Dungeon Dudes and the Venture Maidens, and I'm blanking on who else we had the run-ins. Those are the two I remember. The Broadswords did a run. Maze Arcana did a thing. I don't know. We had about 6 streaming groups do sections of the Dungeon and Doom, and they did a great job with theirs. And what's Celeste is working on something for us right now, too, which is.
She is. I'm not sure if it's something we can talk about openly yet, but
yeah, what's there? She's working on written content for Wildlands. We have a bunch of really cool guest writers.
Yeah, she's one of our writers, and I'm very excited by what she's taking on for it.
Yeah. So go check it out. You threw the link in there. They're good folks worth supporting.
Another thing is if you if you follow Stefan, you may have seen the news.
Speaking of Kickstarters.
Speaking of Kickstarters, you know a little bit more about this one if you want to speak it.
So, was it like 2 years ago at this point? Year and a half ago? It was right after Hellscape. Yeah, so Stefan ran a Kickstarter a few years ago he said one of his many dreams is to have a show, star in a TV show. And so he did a Kickstarter to try and fund it, Destination Fantastic. And they just squeaked by enough to make a first episode. And it's been, I don't know, it's a year and a half later, and they streamed the first episode for a brief window, but you haven't been able to download it. So it's been a little frustrating for those of you like myself that are watching it, or I haven't actually seen the episode because I missed the window where they're streaming it and whatever. But it's been a long run and a lot of promises. But it's kind of bittersweet, right? So right now he got representation by Legion M, and they're shopping it around trying to sell the show to the networks and Netflix and whatever, which is exciting because it would be really cool. Like, if it gets made, it would be awesome. Like, it's a fun, like, romping around with a bunch of fantasy celebrities to a bunch of really, interesting, weird locations and stuff is a fun concept. That's the concept he sold. So if it goes through, it'll be really cool. But it's been a rough ride because he still hasn't delivered like those ice sculpts, and everybody that backed for the copy of the episode doesn't have the episode yet, and I don't know. It's been it seems like it's been a learning experience for him, but he's still plunging ahead trying to get the thing made. So it will be a win if it gets made. I don't know I don't know how they're going to get the first episode to people. I don't really know. I mean, here's the reality is we have nothing to do with it, so we don't actually know any of the behind the scenes info other than talking to Stefan about whatever. But this seems like the closest they've come so far to getting this series made, which would be the end result. Is if the series gets made, it's great because then everybody can watch the thing, and your support in the Kickstarter helped get them there. It's been a long, winding road. It has not been from A to Z or A to B, but every one of these is a long way. Right? Our Wildlands is a hell of a road for us, and we're not at the finish line yet, and have a ways to go, and whatever. So hopefully it'll get picked up and it'll become a thing, which would be pretty cool. But we'll see. It's yet another chapter in the Odyssey. See what happens. But it's the teaser trailer they put together looks really exciting. He took a bunch of footage from the Dwarvenaut and some Kickstarter footage and all this sort of stuff, and made like it's sort of a span, like a 10 year long span of like excitement and stuff. It's the first time I look at the thing, I'm like, oh, you could sell that. Like, that's they finally got the recipe. Oh.
Speaking of Wildlands and of our show never having any hiccups or issues, last week we actually had another Wildlands thing that we had planned on showing you and we forgot to. You've actually got the Wildlands tote bag there with you. Yeah. If you want to see people the first test print of that. This
is how you know it's handwritten. It's his first covering. So this was our. So this is basically everybody, except for the dice. I think you would just back the dice. You don't get this. Wildlands green, Dwarven Army. This is gonna have a little more distressing on it. Janet was revising that. It is not weathered enough, right? It's not like And then this side, it's going to be our Crimson Claw Wyvern, some art by Felipe. And this is going to be bigger. It's going to be about 20% bigger. So, that would be a cool T-shirt, huh? And the lines, we're cleaning up some of the lines so you can read them. Some of the fine lines are getting lost, like some on the Wyvern stone and some of the wings and whatever. Some of the details are getting lost, but we're cleaning all that up and blowing it up, and you have this cool Wyvern bag. It's a good thing we don't have a close-up camera or anything today. It would really not be handy.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Like all the, there'll be some slight adjustments, but I love the way that the image is reading. The concept art that that Crystal did for the Wyvern, it's a great design. It's a really cool looking thing. I'm excited to have it.
It would be cool to put that concept art on something. It doesn't work on. The lines are way too fine for something like that. For like printing on the canvas is rough. But anyway, everybody get a bag. Something to look forward to. My wife uses them for everything. For shopping, for whatever. Like she goes to work with a Caverns Deep bag. Like it's kind of awesome.
We use our Hellscape bags for groceries. They're very durable.
I think you call them iron rations at that point. They're like, it's not groceries. Maybe they're standard rations. And we also have, I think we'll look at them next week. We got water mats in the Mountain Lake and Dismal Quagmire water mats. Look awesome, and I forgot to bring them home. It was yesterday I saw them, so I will snag them from the office for next week's episode, so we can see those. And we get a whole bunch of test shots coming in, hopefully in time for next week's episode.
I hope they get here in time because I'm very excited by the ones that are coming in.
Yeah, we got some good. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of stuff to show you guys next week. Should be fun. Any other Wildlands, Simon?
Pretty sure it's all the Wildlands stuff. We'll have more next week when we have stuff to show.
Oh, we're gonna have dice samples soon too, like factory finished dice samples. The previous ones were, they just were hand done at Die Hard Dice, but they have the factories in production, so we'll have those shortly. They said they were sending them. Maybe we won't have them next week. Maybe the week after. We'll see. And we still don't know our official timeline on Wildlands. We're running behind. The question is just how far behind. And honestly, we're not going to know how far behind until we know. There's still a bunch of things that haven't been tooled and a bunch of things that haven't been cast, and we don't we're still trying to fix the boat, for instance. Cleaning up the teardrop inserts. What else was still? We haven't seen the new revised fogger. There's just some outstanding stuff. We don't know exactly how long that's going to take, much less when it gets in the pipeline and done. But I don't know. We will keep you posted, and you will get to see all the bits as they come straggling in, and it will deliver at some point. I mean, before the end of this year.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope the factory gets back up to full speed once the vaccines come through.
We always deliver.
Yes.
Maybe not as quickly as we'd like, but we will deliver.
Let's see. We've got two little announcements regarding some of our pieces in the store. The first is that some of you have probably already gotten an email about our hidden gem for this month, the Wall of Force. Which, Nate, do you have any there with you? You do. Yeah.
Of course.
These are cool little sculpts that can be used for a lot of different things.
You know why I like? They're very affordable. Right, it's a 4-pack for like $15 or something. They come with a little glitter. Maybe people don't like the glitter, but I dig it. But I just use them I use them for all sorts of things. My favorite thing to do with them is like the invisible maze kind of thing. We did it in the anniversary game. I dropped them in, there was invisible, there were walls of force they had to walk into in the burned out building Topulus ran into. Also, they look just great if you backlight them, put them in a portal and put a little LED pod behind them and then backlight them. They look super cool.
They're pretty flexible.
Yeah, they're just one of those awesome things for. It's a very affordable set, and I end up I stick them all over the place and use them for a lot of things. Which
it's one of those things you can get if you have 10 of them, you can do like you can cover like the entirety of like the Wall of Force spell. You can use them for portals. You can use them for all sorts of things. It's nice.
I suggest
Blue light works well with those. Yeah.
any light you can put here. Let's put it. Where is it?
Also, they're glittery.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
For some people, I enjoy it. Oh, if only we had a close-up.
Vertex says he's never ordered those, but he has got a bunch of their glitter.
Ha!
They go really well in LED things, but they would go really well with a light puck. Ooh. That'd be kind of interesting.
It's a good thing we don't have a close-up. Oh wait, this isn't working. Oh. Yeah, because the color isn't very powerful in them, they can take the... If I could find green, where's green? They take on the color of the light behind them pretty well. Wow.
Yeah. So they're a cool special effects piece that you can use for a lot of stuff.
I suggested that it could be the world's thinnest gelatinous cube. It's just like it's like a gelatinous plank. It's a baby. It's like on a diet. It's in the... Yeah. Well, of forces. Do people like the hidden gems emails? Of trying to highlight little sets that may have gotten lost in the shuffle of.
I mean, speaking of which, Six of Clubs just said, "I love these hidden gem items."
Hey, there you go.
Because all I need to do to be convinced to buy something is to be shown how to use it and hear other people's enthusiasm. Well, it's one of those things. Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like people are so far. Everybody's saying yes. Any other hidden gems or don't want to spoil us? So we've got like a whole spreadsheet of pieces that we want to highlight as hidden gems. Basically, we kind of went through and we were like, what are all the pieces that are really useful, but we either didn't do a great job of messaging about, like during the Kickstarter, or take like a live demonstration to really see like what they can do. So we do have, it's a series that we want to keep going probably indefinitely, basically, because the important thing is we want to make sure that as much as possible everybody is able to understand everything that our pieces can do for them,
well, that's
and all the different ways they can be used.
We're gonna launch a whole page on our website for that, the Explore pages, at some point in 2023.
Speaking of the site, we wanted to talk briefly about Restocks, yes?
Yes. So did we say that we'd sent the new sets? We have new sets that are gonna be... I think they're gonna land...
About the new configurations?
Yeah, they'll land in July or August. So we have some standalone city, like they're 3 building sets. So it's three fieldstone buildings or 3 Tudor buildings. New little ruins configurations that are sort of self-contained. A new small watchtower. This is a super exciting one. So it's small tower pieces with Rabbit's favorite, the matriculated battlements for the small tower. So it's like a 3-story small tower with matriculated battlements, or 4-story, I can't remember. But it's a small version of like the big little watchtower. It's a really cool one. 150 painted, I think, something like that. With a little treasures pack, a little Aranthor scatter pack of just like the most useful scattery rock pieces. Because I feel like that's the thing I use all the time. I'm not always using the cliff pieces, but I'm using those rocks all the time. So we have a pack of just those. So we've, I think, six new packs, and then we're gonna order another restock in the next week or two, and that's gonna include finally these new dungeon core sets. So we're working on a classic dungeon mega, vaulted dungeon mega. We have the vaulted dungeon core is coming in, so we'll have sort of flavors of both of those. And we're remastering a few of the KS1 pieces. So like the stairs down floor and the secret door and the curved wall. Diagonal walls are gonna get thrown in the thing. So we have
the which diagonal walls? Literally in chat, angle walls, diagonals. People are asking about the diagonal walls.
I can't hear you. I don't have a close-up cam. I don't know what that has to
Everybody's shouting for diagonals. You mean the vaulted diagonal walls, right?
Chris, I mean both. We're going crazy.
Both.
We're
Nice.
yeah. So we're gonna throw a magnet in the secret door wall. We're gonna throw a magnet in the stairs down floor.
I'm so glad we're putting a magnet in that. Literally, I'm working on some builds for a thing right now, and I'm using that secret door wall, and it's annoying me that it's the only piece that
Yeah.
I don't have magnetized. To
Yeah,
the
no,
tray.
it's irksome. It's highly vexing. We're gonna do a bunch of things. We're gonna clean up the sides. I think we'll put some bricks. Do the KS5 treatment to the stuff. The curve wall. We're gonna resculpt the original diagonal wall, because it was too short. I don't know if anybody's tried to do a diagonal passage with the original ones. They don't meet up, and it's really, talk about highly vexing. That is like that. So we're gonna clean that up. And then, we're going to reorder the vaulted diagonals by popular demand, right? We'll get those cooking. Yeah, so that's some stuff to look forward to for the fall.
Everybody's calling out Matt Mercer in the chat now. I told Nate this. There's been a running, if you're on the Discord and if you're in like there's a running joke in the Critical Role spoiler chat, because we have like a Critical Role watch party every Thursday in the Discord. And we've noticed every time Matt Mercer does like a dungeon build, he always uses a bunch of vaulted diagonal walls, and so it's made everybody that watches the show with us like realize like I need those walls, but they're so hard to get. And
Well, because they've been out of stock forever. Yeah.
yeah,
Chuck has been championing, like getting those back, getting a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So we have some stuff brewing, some new. Some restocks, some reconfigs, fun stuff coming down the pike. On top of the fun Wildland stuff coming down the pike. On top of the fun new Kickstarter coming down the pike. This turnpike is there's a lot of traffic on this turnpike.
Yeah, that's all the news that we've got. We did say we were doing reconfigurations, but I don't think we announced any of those new ones. People seem pretty happy about it.
I'm mostly excited. They're all sort of standalone. Like the Watchtower is a complete thing. These building sets, they're 3 roofs and enough. It's like 2 single-story and 1 double-story building in each flavor. So it's 2 different sets of like standalone buildings with all the roofs, everything you need. Boom, boom, boom. There's the ruins ones are also self-contained, so you don't need you can just buy this whole like ruin thing. And I think they're pretty good.
Oh, people are wondering what the timing on them is going to be. Are we expecting this in the June or July restocks, or after?
I don't know. Maybe July. I don't know. Because also they're in the middle. They're casting Wildlands, so I don't know. I don't know what the whole. I don't know.
It depends on the factory turnaround, but hopefully by the end of the year.
I think July would be aggressively optimistic. That's my style. And August is probably more realistic, and September might be more in the realities of this last year. Everything's taken longer than you think, so I don't know, somewhere in there. And then this next batch that's going through probably September, October, November, but all this stuff before the end of the year. So it might be
excited for us to have these reconfigurations of basically every biome, so that we can just keep a decent stock all the time.
Yeah, no, we're working on it. So stuff is afoot.
Yeah, and that is all the news that we've got.
Woo!
So let's figure out what we're gonna build with
today.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a thing where people get to vote in chat. So what are the 4? We can have up to 4 choices, 5 choices, 10 choices. How many do you get?
We did Dread Hollow last time. We can do up to 4. We can do up to 5 choices.
5 choices. Well, and Dread Hollow is most of my stuff is tied up over there. Still in that build.
Yeah. It's what we did last time.
Yeah. So we should do something new. Why don't I tell you what I have easily at hand? I've got Hellscape, Ice Caverns. If we're doing a big 2x3, yeah. I have everything. Anyway, I've got dungeons, I've got caverns, I've got cities, I've got castles. I've got resin. I've got ice. I've got Hellscape. Underdoom, I don't have easily accessible. I've got burrows, basically Underdoom is tied up. I had it tied up in a build for. I don't have a ton of Underdoom. I have enough to cover a 2x3, but like, it's all been tied up in a build. I haven't ever dismantled this build. It's under my layer cake of builds. I could even Forsaken Temple actually after last week is easy to get.
Oh, some caverns using exterior. Fire and ice sounds fun.
Yeah, so why don't you take the top 5 suggestions from the chat, throw them in a poll, and we can.
I kind of want to just include Hellscape and Ice under Cat. Well, that will make Caverns win for sure because it's going to be combining a bunch of
we do
votes.
But we could also be more specific, or like
Ice Caverns, Dungeons.
Oh, I have sewers. Cities. I pretty much have everything. Sewers. I think at this juncture, I pretty much have everything. We probably shouldn't do castles. At least it's not as a main thing.
Also, you wouldn't be able to get it done tonight.
Well, there's that. Also without the close-up cameras, we have just the overhead, so the castles don't read as well in the overhead. And if people want resin, that's its whole own subcategory from, there's ice resin, caverns resin, dungeon resin, catacombs resin, ruins resin. Catacombs is a fun one. We could put that in the. I could also.
Here's an interesting concept. Have Nate combine the top 2 in a build.
Yeah, a build jam with myself.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm so into that. So what do we have?
Resin.
So do we have a chocolate and peanut butter? So
right now I have Hellscape, Ice Caverns, Dungeons, Cities, and Catacombs.
Oh, so here's a question: can we do 2 polls at the same time?
No, we'd have to wait for one to end.
Because it would be fun to have 2 polls, two choices of 5 running concurrently, so you don't know what's going to get selected from either. So it's like you don't know what's going to get paired up is kind of the goal, right? Because the can you hide the result, or can people see the result?
People are able to see it from the get-go.
Okay, well then so much for that. Because that would be really funny if you're blind voting on 2 different things, then we get a crazy wild match.
There are third-party polling options that we could use that would let us do stuff like that, but I would need to set it up.
Yeah, that's crazy town.
We don't currently have it ready for that.
All right, so what did you have in the first batch? Let's run this thing.
Hellscape, Ice Caverns, Dungeons, Cities, Catacombs.
Dungeons, Cities. Okay, and then. Let's get the second one queued up, which could be.
Let's start this poll, and then let's write down. Yeah.
Regular. How about regular caverns?
Regular caverns.
We could do resin, which is a wide. You already put catacombs in the last one.
Put catacombs in as one because that seemed like the most popular resin option.
So we have Hellscape, we have ice, we have. We could put burrows. Is that crazy? Forsaken Temple. Let's put that. Put Forsaken Temple in for sure.
Forsaken Temple.
I've got
Caverns, Sewers, Forsaken Temple.
I've got Aaron.
We don't have Underdoom, unfortunately.
I've got Aaron Thor. We could play with.
Aaron Thor. I'll just type mountains.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We could just do something like just say white marble. Or something like for, because that one always looks flashy.
My God.
What?
Everything has 6 or 7 votes right now.
Oh wow.
It's just like a dead.
So I have to build with all of it.
Is that what you across 5 options?
Oh no.
This is rough. Do we take this? I was gonna say, do we take the second place and put it in the second thing to see if it.
Let's see what they are. We'll have to do a poll about what the second poll should be.
We gotta stop at some point.
That's true.
Oh my God, this is all neck and neck.
Really? How about we give people 30 more seconds to vote, and then we'll see what the results are.
Let's see. How do I buy votes with channel points? You can't. I didn't enable multiple votes with channel points.
Oh, that's hilarious. What did they want to vote?
Okay, it looks like Cities is pulled slightly ahead. Ice Caverns is right behind.
We could do that. A city and ice. Do a little icy.
There's a lot of people who are asking for a fire and ice build. I'm surprised Cities is doing this well. This is rough. I think Hellscape and Ice Caverns might have split their vote.
I mean,
Ice Caverns is catching up.
All right, let's do. Okay, let's do 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
All right. Cities won by 1 vote. Had 14 votes. Ice Caverns had 13. Hellscape and Dungeons had 10.
So let's
Catacombs
do.
had 9.
So let's do ice. Let's do a city on some ice, or around some ice.
City on some ice.
Yeah. See, some sort of.
Okay, let's do
You know,
an ice city. Let's
We'll
see
go
how
up
that
to the
works.
10 towns and see what happens. First, I wanted to show this thing I forgot to show. Let's go to the. Oh, I have this thing over here. So I put this together. I sort of had it hodgepodge, and I finally organized it. I'm curious if this is something people would be interested in. Like if I mean it's not happening right now, but if we sold a thing like this, this is my. And I can do a second one actually. This is the sort of spell effects one. This is my Dungeon Master toolkit of spell effects, right? So it's ice walls, it's thorn walls, it's fire walls, it's webs, it's vines for entangle, wall of force. Gotta have those, and then there's some torches, and there's a griffin tamer, pillar of fire because this is cool. And some of the old resin, we have some of our resin firewalls as well as the new ones. So we'd have to if we were actually gonna sell it, it would be probably just all Dwarvenite and whatever. But is that a thing? Would people want a Dungeon Master's toolbox? And the other one I have is grappling hooks and spike traps, and so all the little stuff that I use. I don't know. There's always these little things, levers. There's all the small little accessories that I always end up just throwing in, or a pile of treasure or whatnot.
People are overwhelmingly saying yes, and some people are saying yeah, I've made a kit like that myself. So if you were able to sell that'd be huge.
Nets.
It's kind of like making a core set, but for
It's the flashy Dungeon Master's toolbox of hey, you want to I don't know, have all the fun. The fun stuff that you end up throwing out on the table all the time.
Yeah, they're saying spell effects and traps and stuff would be a really good, good collection.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like just making core sets of stuff that isn't bread and butter terrain, which is.
But these are
nice
things I use a lot, and the other one I probably even use more the weird, all the little accessory bits that I kind of throw out all the time. Here's the extra credit question. Do people if we had a cool case for it, would that be a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know how we would make it and do it. It'd be a pain in the ass, but I dream of having a case that's specifically sized to fit all this stuff, so you could.
Well, we could do something like what Reaper does with their paint collections that come with little cases.
Isn't that foam? Are those foam divided?
They've got foam dividers in a case that's custom sized. I'd rather buy my own case cheap at the dollar store. Yeah. Definitely rather my own case. Okay, so it sounds like people would be fine with doing their own storage.
Well, good, because we don't.
Case is something else to store. Yeah, so it seems like that's not a. Just go with the
Get
pieces.
All the pieces. People can do what they want.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I need. All right, we got some ice.
Yeah, it seems like overwhelmingly people are saying they'd rather just get their own boxes and stuff.
Good.
Let's see.
So much easier for us to not do a case. I am relieved.
Yeah. Oh man, there's the tray.
Yeah. Got to.
I wonder how many of these trays you sold when you when people were asking about them before.
I don't know.
I wonder how many freezer trays you sold. When you,
probably 0. Yeah. Dude, I love those freezer trays. These are the secret. These are the secret weapon. These things are there's these are also good for doing puzzles with kids. You put a double side some paper tape in the front, and then You won't lose all the pieces.
Where do you get these again? We've got people who weren't here when you talked about them before asking.
They are 2 foot by 3 foot document trays made by Safeco, Safeco. They're on Amazon. They're pretty affordable for what they are. Because they're hard plastic. They've got a metal bar underneath, so I have loaded these full of not just Wyvern. I've loaded these up with prototypes, like polystone prototypes, and they're like, and they stack like crazy. I love these things are game changing. They're just over 2 inches high, so you can build right up. You can I stack. I can do a build and I can stack another thing and do another build and stack another thing. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 builds on these. Oh, the other trick you can do if you have a build that's too high.
This is an interesting idea. We should do Amazon affiliate links to go to trays and storage boxes and stuff that we recommend.
You can.
That'd be kind of cool. We could just have like a list of here's the stuff that we use from other vendors for our building and everything.
You can invert a second tray on the first tray. It nooks in really nicely, and then that gives you 4 inches of clearance for your taller builds. Yeah, I love these.
I remember when you made that big forest build that we used for one of the games that we played with the staff. Or with the team.
Threw it in the back of the car.
Yeah, you put that tray in the back of your your trunk.
Yeah. It didn't. 80% of the build survived. I lost some of the trees sort of flew around, but it literally loaded the trunk trees in the back of the car and off we went. All right, let's get some terrain trays and let's get rocking in.
Let's see. So at this time, I'll also be I'll be looking for questions and topics that you guys want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
The first one was, what is that tray? So now that we've successfully handled that topic, anything you guys want to talk about, just go ahead and let us know, and we will talk through things. These are fairly laid back streams.
As opposed to our high.
As opposed to the times when we're all business, yeah.
Hard hitting. Oh wait, let's go to the hang on.
Hard-hitting interviews with Joe Manganiello, where we grill him on the hard questions.
That was a fun interview.
Like asking him to do his Christopher Walken impression.
Christopher Squawken.
Christopher Squawken.
The seagull.
Man, our Twitch channel peaked at that interview.
Yeah. No, that was really. It's been downhill since then.
That was so funny to me because genuinely, out of all the streams that we did, that was the one that was all the streams that we did during that Kickstarter, that was the one that was the least connected to Wildlands at all. And it was just you messing around with Joe for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
That was really fun. I mean, what else do you need in life? Yeah. Also,
people keep referring to it as one of their favorite streams, so I don't know.
Also the one that for whatever reason the most wives and girlfriends tuned into. Strangely.
Yeah, I got a lot of very excited messages from my girlfriend when we tweeted about that interview.
Mrs. Odenforged tuned in. It's people were suddenly like, "Oh yeah, we should. Yeah, why don't we catch the stream tonight? I think this would be a fun." Yeah.
Suddenly she was fine with me having the stream on during dinner. I don't know what the. You come to me on the day of Matt Mercer's wedding and you ask me how I stole the hand of Vecna. Let's see. We got 2 questions about. Okay, so we have these kind of questions that are these the ice trays? Yes, these are the ice terrain trays that we have on the store. The underside of them, I believe, is cracked ice.
That is correct. Here.
Yeah, so this is solid ice, and then if you flip them over, it's ice with.
Cracks.
It's more hazardous because it's you can fall into the freezing water.
And if you want to get even more hazardous, I don't know where. We got hazardous over here. We got these too. You can throw down some cracks.
Yeah. I think we mentioned these last week.
The overlays.
Yeah, we mentioned these at some point. People were saying they'd want some kind of ice effects, and it's oh, we've got those.
Whirlpools.
Can't find those document trays. Look for Safco, SAFCO.
Isn't it SAFE? SAF? I don't know. Hang on, let me.
We found them before. We can find them again.
Fact. We've got the technology. Well, to answer the train tray question though, this is like so. I particularly when we have this overhead cam and it's all white, I always like to pave everything with some terrain trays first. A, so it's a place for the magnets to stick to, and B, so it doesn't blast the camera with white. And also then I can just opens up a lot of negative space and possibilities. All right, so what are we gonna? So we got to do something with city and ice. And I'm thinking, are we doing something expected like the fishing village or whatever, or are we doing something unexpected? Like
okay, cool. Yeah, Chuck found the link. He put it in chat.
Like Christopher Squawkin'. Hey, Chuck.
Christopher Squawkin'. Yeah.
What did anybody have any?
Find that link, Chuck. Frozen City. People really want a Frozen City. Yeah, like so. Was this city built? So here's the question: was this city built
on rock and roll
in the tundra, or was this frozen over after the city was built?
That's much more exciting. Let's have the city frozen, trapped in ice.
Part sunken city. So maybe some buildings have fallen through the ice.
If only we had that sunken mausoleum.
I wonder why we don't have a sunken mausoleum.
I blame Joe. So let's do the city was like it was a happy town, and then Elsa came and froze everything or whatever.
That crossover. Yeah, let's get the mouse out first.
I'm in. All right, so let me think about this for a second. We're going to. Okay. I'm feeling a little ambitious.
Finley says I keep trying to give ideas to justify these sculpts and minis. That's the mausoleum and the lava worm thing today.
The lava worm came. Oh, the fire and ice is the.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I suggested fire and ice.
It's amazing.
Wait, you're doing Arendelle?
What?
It could be like those ruins in that other plane of existence in The Witcher 3.
Lost me.
I need to play it.
Hey, speaking of things that you like, the Monster Hunter. Yes. They're doing that's what they call the Monster Hunter. Steamforge is doing a Monster Hunter miniatures thing in a couple. They're gonna release that in a couple of days. Like I'm telling you something on the internet that you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. They do a lot of video game related stuff. They did Horizon. I've got mixed feelings on Horizon Zero Dawn, but like the designs of like their mechanical dinosaurs.
Is that the dinosaur hunting woman?
Yeah. It's the bow and arrow. Like it's like a mixture of like primitive with like high tech.
Oh, it's like my basement.
If only there was wildland tundra. We'll get there someday.
All right. So here's a question. So do we? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Huh.
You might just need to start building and then.
Yeah.
Adjust.
Well, yeah, we need to do a little bit of pre-planning, but.
Particularly with cities, yeah.
Well,
we're definitely not using streets. This needs to be a scatter style thing. Although I guess we can build it in line with the ice cavern floors.
Could build it in line with what I want to do. I gotta think this over a second. I want to have part of it, like I want to pretend the city was elevated, or was like going up. It's a shame we don't have city elevation yet, but I want to have some of the buildings like really sunken in the ice, right? So it's just like the roofs, or just the second story. Or even better, like part of the second story and the roof sticking above. And then some of them are out more. So I'm thinking like elevate a section of it so I can have like a sunken part of the town.
So maybe this was a city in a valley that was kind of built like on slopes and hills, and then it flooded and then froze over. So you've got like parts of the city that are just entirely underwater at this point, and parts that are like half frozen, like half in, half out of the lake.
I have an idea.
You got something. Okay, you got something. What's going on?
I don't know. Hold on. I know this is gonna work, and I need more. Remind me, I've got to get more Water overlays. All right, this is. I think I don't know. Oh, all right. I just gotta. Wait. Where did I hide my bucket of stilts? Down. Oh yeah. We got a bucket O. Look at this one. This is bucket O elevation, random elevation, and then. Oh, there you go. Some metal.
Flooded and froze over. Have you ever seen The Day After Tomorrow? Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Stone runes are better in this context than Tudor.
Bucket of
Most
stilts.
of the Tudor runes are burnt.
Okay.
What if they were raised by fire and then it flooded and then it froze? Just everything possible happened to this
And
town.
then it fell into the swamp.
Yeah. In the plane of air.
Hey, Meta Elite posted a cool. This is total non sequitur. Posted a cool. They got the build of the month and added some other castle stuff and did a remix of the build of the month castle.
Awesome.
Wyvern Watch Castle. Posted up on. I'm starting to put together. Minotaur Quest on Twitter is Meta Elite.
Yes. Just throw some brown mold in there too for good measure. And a bunch of jellies. Just a bunch of black jellies. Black oozes. Sounds like this town did some blasphemy.
What town has it?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited to get Meta Elite in to do the voice for the next build of the month. Also, because I'm excited to show them what I'm excited to show them what we ended up doing with their concept for Entrogus.
Damn, I missed twice.
A reverse Pompeii.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got reverse Pompeii.
Icy. Tough way to go.
Yeah. Hey, there's worse ways to go, just not many, you know?
Yeah, I think getting hit by a volcano is pretty much on the.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. It's no meteor, but like it's pretty bad.
How am I gonna do this?
Make a stilted coastal ice fishing village. Bust out some Aranthor for coastal edges.
Aranthor's definitely gonna. Man, this is definitely gonna last more than one night.
That's fine. People love this. People love when we have like a long form build over time. We just need to make sure as long as we like take pictures and video to like document every like wild build we do here, like that's such good advertising material and like inspirational material.
I have to take apart that other one, which I've been putting off. So here's what I'm gonna try. I don't know how this is gonna work just yet, and I don't know what's gonna go underneath it. Let me go. Oh, Banks. Oh man, this is gonna be outrageous. But okay, here's the. Oh man, I don't have a close up. I don't have a close up cam, so we figure this out. But my concept. I don't know if this is gonna work. My theory is I build. I'm gonna need to use like quicksand or something down here, but I'm gonna build this is essentially underwater, and then use the water overlays on top of the buildings, and then sandwich in a roof. Does that make sense? So you have like you can see under the water, right? You'll see the buildings. The buildings will be underwater, but then the water level is going to go out, and we'll do banks to like transition out. But you can see like, you can see the buildings under there.
That's really clever. Yeah, and then you can even be moving their minis around underneath that overlay.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is like you can get under there. What I need to do probably.
People were asking for us to do underwater biome, and turns out we already did.
Yeah, I'm going to. I think I have to break the plexiglass out. Hang on.
What is this guy? Some kind of CEO of Dwarven Forge? No, this is a CCO of Dwarven Forge. Actually,
the CEO would say that's too expensive. We got.
Man, that's the thing, though, right? Like that's what makes it's well, like what makes it so good is the fact that you're passionate about this stuff. So like you're excited, like you actually get excited building with it, which is what helps you figure out what people would want.
Well, at least it helps me figure out what I would be excited about. But I don't know if we're actually getting what people want or not. But yeah. All right. How the hell am I gonna do this? All right. Well. All right. Well, let's just play. We're gonna play. Really, of all the nights to not have a close-up camera, this one's gonna be a. So what I'm gonna do for fun, I'm gonna just throw a 2x3 sheet of plexi on here for right now. And I can do. Look at that! It's an illusion. And then we can essentially figure out where the water is and tape these two. So I'm thinking this gag is gonna look better in the front than in the back. It's like a mullet, right? So we can I used to work with this effects guy, Johnny Semerad of Crime fame, that would they used to cut his own mullet using a Flowbee, which is a hair cutter that you attach to your vacuum cleaner, and so it sucks all the hair in and then just zips it down and like yeah. Anyway, so I'm thinking, we could even do like a cave thing underneath there. So I'm thinking I'm thinking water is gonna be like these by two I mean three. These 3 square feet will be water, and these will be land. And then, yeah, so we have to kind of transition down from there into the water. So I need some cool inner transitions, and then build some stuff here. Then we drop it on, and then we go up next level.
Yeah, banks and elevation are going to be.
Yeah, this is going to be just a real simple ice.
We're just casually inventing like new build techniques on air right now. Don't worry about it.
That's why we're here.
Gilded Poison brings up a good point. She says she can see this working with Aaron Thor. Yeah, you can have like a mountain rising out of the water.
Oh man, there's so much. This is Oh, dude, it starts under. And then this is.
Yeah.
I am gonna make space for this one. All right. Well.
Everybody's talking about Flowbees in chat.
It's a thing. I'm telling you, Flowbee is a thing.
Chuck's saying, yeah, Flowbees have been sold out since then. He tried to get one for the Plague Times.
Did he really?
Yeah, apparently George Clooney uses one.
Well, if it's good enough for George Clooney.
Yeah, he's got an impeccable taste. That's his brand. He was voted like world's sexiest man at some point, right?
Probably.
I'd be amazed if he wasn't.
All right, so we're stilting up everything. What I think we'll do is probably tonight we'll focus on the underwater, and then the next session we'll focus on the above ground portion. So let me pull up this plexi.
Let's see. Do not try to use a Flowbee on your cat. During Ocean's 11 he was? Okay, he did get voted world's sexiest man. Cool. I figured, if nothing else, he was at least
second sexiest.
Yeah. He was at least unofficially one at that. So he was definitely 1997. Wow. Man.
I was nominated that same year, but so it was tough competition though.
Yeah. Any other year, if it just wasn't the same year that George Clooney was nominated, he would have been fine.
It's not even fair.
Sometimes you just get dealt a bad hand.
That's just not fair,
Yeah.
That was it. I missed my chance.
I don't even know why they bothered nominating anybody else. That whole thing was just.
I'm waiting for time to do world's sexiest terrain maker.
World's sexiest build.
I think I can. I might have an angle on that one.
Yeah. You should keep a notepad nearby, so while you build something and wish you had something else, you can write it down to bring up later on to design new things to come. That's a good point. I don't know what your process is like. You do have a ton of notebooks full of things from like every Kickstarter.
Process is a strong word for it.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just a collection of things everywhere. All right, so what are we using for the watery floor? Do we use quicksand? Do we use cave water? Do we use...
Quicksand would be interesting. Because it would, if a place gets flooded, it would bring a lot of sediment with it.
We could use cave stone. Ooh, wait. Here's I'll get some options for the blood for the terrain for the terrain guide. Wait, where is
Quicksand fits with the burnt and frozen narrative, if we're going with the burnt and frozen. Publish a hardback book with your sketches, making of Dwarven Forge, dreams realized and dreams to come. We've had so many requests to make like coffee table books of.
Yeah, there's a lot of all the concept art between
Even just from Wildlands alone, the concept art for, like that Crystal Soli did, the concept art that that you and the rest of the
Felipe and Nina and like we have so many good. Yeah. All right, so here's one thing we could do, like cave stone looks kind of like it could be underwater stone. And this is one is interesting because that's the cave pools in it, or we could do quicksand.
I kind of like those pools. Like it's like they did like there's like microbes like forming in there, and that could be like
gross.
Yeah.
Feels like the bottom of a fish tank kind of thing.
What terrain trays are those? Are these from
Caverns Deep?
Where are these from?
Caverns Deep. This is quicksand and cave stone. This is cave stone with pools and festering floor. This one is awesome.
Yeah, I love that one. It's such a fun one to like have in the cracks, like in a build.
Mace did a like a sweatshirt out of this or something. I'm gonna say.
She's made a lot of
some crazy merch ideas that are pretty fun.
She just released some that are fascinating. I love
and this we could do.
Put them in games with no explanation.
Festering floor is just dynamite. Yes. Yeah. All right, so let's do this stone, these cave stones. So we've got this. Then we get a pool. I'll get one more with the pool. The microbial pools.
The Book of Beans.
Book o' Beans.
I remember seeing some of Nina's sketches for Hellscape were wild.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some really we have some talented folks.
It'd be cool to just like show like the concept art and then the final piece and see like that process. It'd be cool.
Man.
We need a good way to store terrain trays.
Whoa, wait, no, we have that this came up on air and some viewers suggested these amazing these wooden scrap.
You have them at the office now.
I have them here too. They're amazing. It's like life-changing.
Yeah. You guys are sold out of a lot of terrain trays. Any way you can do a big restock on them?
Which ones are you looking for in particular? We have some incoming. Do I do everything with the water pools? Do I skip?
Yeah, we do have some coming with the new stuff. We should try to keep them all in stock, honestly.
It's hard.
Some of them don't
all
really
of it's hard. We just
Yeah.
Yeah.
The town was on fire, and in an attempt to put it out, a wizard overdid it and froze the town.
Mm.
Dude, what if somebody tried to save it with a wish spell? What they wished for was for the fire to be put out, but it was put out with the flood.
It was put out forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Wall of Force could be a cross-section of water. Huh.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
Now here's the other. This could be. Now this is probably a bad idea. It might be cooler to do natural. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'd say we could pave the underwater with streets. It's gonna be hard. This I can transition using Aaron Thor's. I can transition down to these. Plus these with the where does water go? With the water current overlay, I think it's gonna look. Hopefully, it's gonna look kind of watery. Yeah, I think it should look cool.
It absolutely works.
I don't know how we're gonna get to and from the ice and whatever, but we'll get there. All right.
Especially if you have some kind of like dark blue light as well, kind of shining under there to help give it like sell the underwater effect.
Oh, like. All right.
Are the quicksand terrain trays getting restocked this summer? Let me check the list. Let's see.
But you guys know that as you when you make requests on here, Chris is sort of cataloging all of this, and then
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track of everything that people are looking for, which is tough because we have literally hundreds of packs and things to try and keep track of. But I'm trying to know, especially when something comes up a lot, like the vaulted diagonal walls is something that we working those into the newer configurations was but like finding ways to make them more accessible was directly because of stuff people have been saying. Terrain trays. We've got rough stone and lava, rough stone and water. It's mostly all the Dungeon of Doom trays.
well, it's those are best sellers because they've been out for so long. Yeah, it doesn't.
And then we've got the forest terrain tray pack from Caverns Deep is coming in July. So it doesn't look like the quicksand one. The quicksand was Caverns Deep, right?
Yeah. Everything aside from the Dungeon and Doom ones were essentially Caverns Deep. All right, well, put it on my list. Remind me tomorrow because I have to go through the restock list. Remind me tomorrow to go through that because there are some. Eric has been trying to figure out the terrain tray that we should reorder.
Terrain trays are like a whole other beast, like separate from the terrain. I need terrain tray restocks. Set for tomorrow. Yeah, we're good. All right. Do you have clear blue cellophane? Yeah, you could use a gel for it.
Yes, I don't have one, but
flooded caverns below with a splash of streets and ruined buildings. Wall of force holds back the water.
Whoa! Way to bring in the wall of force.
Do you have, let's see, frozen zombies and the Night King destroyed this town. Spacer block for castles. Still waiting to hear about my unpainted Count's castle. Ice walls, please.
I don't think we're ever going to restock the Count's castle. Is my sad reality check.
It's hard to, because we have to order enough of them to justify the order, but then like the idea that we sell enough of those is... Castles have always been tough.
Well, and those have so many different pieces. The Royal Stronghold, the Count's Castle. They're
Speaking of which,
tough.
Oh yeah, I guess we should have said in the news. So we sold out of the painted.
Oh yeah, build of the month.
Castle build of the month in like 5 days. So thank you for that. We're genuinely surprised by how many people jumped on that.
Yeah, that was
build right away.
Bonkers.
We still have some of the unpainted left. But yeah, I've been asking people like why they were, what they liked about it so much. I think we talked about it last week too, but we did, yeah, because we already knew we were selling a lot last week, but yeah, we sold out of those things on like Saturday or Sunday. What is that light that Nate just pulled out? I think it's the LumaCube.
Yeah.
Talking about the LumaCube.
Awesome, LumaCube. We have a few.
We have a lot of them at the office.
We have a few unpainted. About in the build of the month, we have a few unpainted. Yes, what I'm gonna do. But the LumaCubes are awesome. It's a little pack. It's LumeCube. It's like they were designed for shooting Dwarven Forge terrain.
We got like a bunch of those back in Hellscape, right? Like that's when we got them.
Yes, I think the first couple in Hellscape, and then we've gotten more since because they're super. They're these like, they've got all this. Yeah. If you take the frame off, they fit inside like, inside a building, and they have little miniature barn doors. They have this. I use this all the time. The snoot. Magnetic snoot, so you can aim it. little diffusion. They got a bunch of different colored gels, and they're very powerful. You charge them up on the USB, and they're just these dynamite little lights. And you can also Bluetooth control them. If I haven't actually ever hooked it up, but they're They're kids.
Have you used those at all for lighting miniature photos? Yeah, they're really useful for.
We use them all the time when we do our
things.
shoots. Like if you look at the Wyvern Watch Castle, there's like one inside behind the drawbridge, and there's one inside the Jakarsa's tower, and I'm gonna make some holes in here so that I can blast a little blue light from the inside, per Chris's suggestion.
Jade Kind posted the right link. Yeah, that's exactly the right pack. So if you guys are looking for that, we really do need to just get into an Amazon affiliate link and just like list like
all the
different gear that we reference throughout the.
Well, because there's all this.
We have all these third-party products we use. We should just compile them and have them in a list under the stream or something.
Yeah, there's all this weird specific stuff that we need to use. So, here's a thing. I wanted these banks, the caverns banks are perfect for transitioning out into the water, except we want to be icy. Right? So maybe I'll use the ice banks. Cause that's gonna look really cool. Maybe I'll use these under. Oh, yeah, all right. I have a new. So what I'm struggling with is, and maybe I don't need to go that high. No, I do. I need to, because of the height of the buildings, I need to loft. These are stilted up 50 millimeters, but
you need to go a full wall height basically.
Yeah, so I can get the same height as a building, and then we can cover this with sheet. The challenge is the Aranthro pieces are 38 millimeters, so I need a floor, because traditionally you build them on a floor, and that gets you up. We have all these wonderful pieces in Wildlands, which I don't have yet, and I don't want to just do the full Aranthro floors all around. And these aren't level enough. I can't put these underneath. I could. I see two paths forward. One, I try and cut up a bunch of Aranthro floors right now to put.
Saying you could put a mini stilt under the lower terrain trays.
Well, the building can't be up. The problem. I essentially need to loft these up one floor height, but disguise it. So maybe I use dungeon floors, build everything out 2 inches, and then I banked.
Just jam Dungeon of Doom 1x2 and 1x4 under the Aranthor. Yeah. No one will know.
Yeah. You mean you don't think I should cut up a bunch of Aranthor?
Just get a bunch of foam and just cut all the foam to fit the exact shape. Let's see. A couple things. So we'd like to see the Ice Adventurers pack restocked.
The adventure, here's the other
Ice Cavern Adventure set.
Yeah, I don't think those will ever. Yeah, I think we're facing these crazy and sad and hard realities that most of the Caverns Deep sets are unrestockable because there's too much variety, too low multiples of all this stuff.
Yeah. But that's why we're trying to do all these reconfigurations, is so that we can find ways that we can restock all these pieces so that they're all available.
We can bring them back.
It's taking time.
Everything.
But I think this next wave of stuff we have coming is going to go a long way. Because once we get we need to focus on getting all the bread and butter stuff done first, so that you can actually make your build, and then we can focus on making better packs for all the accessories and stuff.
Yep.
What are we trying to do? What
right
we're
here?
trying to do is basically where you're seeing the stone terrain trays, that stuff's going to be underwater. And what we're trying to do is something we've never done before, essentially. We're trying a ridiculously ambitious build on what was supposed to be a very relaxing stream.
Wait, does it make the stream less relaxing to try it?
No, it doesn't. I'm actually very excited about this. I have no problem at all. Yeah. I think it's funny. That, it was like, yeah, it's going to be like a casual building stream. And we're like, what if we just invent an entirely new subset of
I blame the chat, honestly.
Yeah. If we just use this stuff in a way that's never been used before.
I'm sure someone's done it.
Bring back the Ice Caverns LED pedestal piece in standard paint. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a
That's a great piece. That's a really good piece.
Yeah, it is. And it's remote controlled, and it's what's not to
Lava
love.
River restock. Oh yeah, dude, we don't have the Lava Rivers coming, do we? In that new one.
Lava rivers, the hellscape ones, the magma rivers.
Yeah, are they coming?
I don't think so. I don't know. What we have to do is basically has to be Hellscape has to be one big restock because it's its own weirdo casting color. So
True. So yeah, since
we
it's in
have
that
to
yellow,
do like you got to do all like we got to do everything that we're gonna do in that one.
I didn't think about that, but that makes sense. So we should probably when we do the cavern's core in Hellscape is when we'll do all the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do one big Hellscape run and go bonkers.
That makes sense. So it will be coming. It just needs to be basically its own restock.
Yep.
But yeah, the Magma Rivers will definitely be coming back. We're not going to abandon those. They're like some like the runaway success pieces of that
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
they're awesome. They're like
they look incredible. They will be coming back. We just need to. It's the logistics of everything, but they will be coming.
Dwarven Forge is like a glacier, right? It's just like we just slowly plunge forward, like almost. It seems like it's imperceptible, but we are moving forward.
Is this a house on water, put an upside down building? No, so this one's actually underwater. You're gonna see this cool effect you figured out while you were gone. It's very cool looking.
Conceptually,
although this is an interesting idea. Put an upside down building, it looks the same underneath it to show the reflection of it.
Oh,
we could do that. We could do that gag with something. Get two identical pieces, put one upside down, and put the overlay between them.
Now that is cool.
We could do that with like a crag or something.
Crag. So I think. Oh man, how am I gonna do that?
Let's see.
I'm gonna need more banks.
Hellscape was the Kickstarter I wish it went harder on. I like it so much and use the pieces so much. That's the thing. I think with Hellscape, it seemed like a thing where it's like, and even for us, it was a thing where like this is like a niche category. We're not sure people are actually going to need a lot. But then when it hit the store, and when people got it, they were like, "Oh no, I actually want a lot of this."
What do you use it for? Whoever wrote that, what do they use it for?
I think that was Tendril. No, that's not Tendril. That's Hoppy Hippo.
What do they use it for? I'm curious what the.
Yeah, what do you use it for? I know we've used Hellscape twice in our home game so far. Using it for Avernus. That's fair. If you're doing Avernus or a campaign in the Hells, like it's invaluable. Like it is by far the best way for somebody to do the Hells.
Wait, you're saying Hellscape is useful for building Hell? What? Does not compute.
I love red dragons, and I use it to fight red dragons and fire elementals a lot.
Yes.
Oh, and you're gonna love what we came up with for the fire elemental Myrmidon. Let me tell you,
dude.
We ironed out like what we were gonna do stat wise to make it like its own like beast today, and I'm very happy.
Who gets to fight red dragons regularly? That's awesome. Like I my hats off to you.
It'd be cool to do just like a dragon hunting campaign where like that's what your party does. Is no, we're dragon hunters. So like almost every encounter is some kind of dragon fight.
That's awesome. I want to start that right now.
So then the DM has to like think of like ways to make all these different fights with dragons like feel unique.
Yeah. Well, then at some point the dragons start they're gonna probably start hunting back, or right? You just like they're not gonna sit there and take that forever.
Yeah. Those who own several dragon lances.
What color dragon lance?
I painted my hellscape in a slime caverns paint scheme rather than lava. Oh, that's you?
Cool.
Yeah, but, the slimescape stuff looks really cool. I've seen the custom paint jobs people have done on Hellscape have been ridiculous.
Facts.
I'm running Icewind Dale, so my Frozen Caverns core is essential. I think all my campaigns will feature ice caverns at some point now. Love that set. That's the thing too, is sometimes there's that thing where people will use it if they have it.
Yeah.
But they won't think about using it, and so like it's not always we need to make things inspired by the campaigns. It's like sometimes we need to make things that will inspire campaigns. I'm hoping happens with some of the new stuff we're doing at KS8.
You sound a lot like Yogi Berra there.
What's your favorite Yogi Berra quote?
I don't know enough of them, but there are so many good ones.
I think my personal favorite is "Half the lies aren't true."
So good.
You have that slime Kano, right? Somebody was like doing commissioned slime Kanos.
Slime
That was
Kano.
great. Uh, Rivers of Slime Ghostbusters 2 campaign. That'd be fun. Yeah, theoretically, you could use some weird custom paint stuff to do like interesting sci-fi and extraterrestrial settings.
But do you want
Because
to
like
commit?
the texture on that magma is like
Yeah.
really impressive.
The pink slime from Ghostbusters 2, though, that was like.
Create lots of graveyard, etc. Prep for the launch of more Ravenloft. If we
Ooh.
had a fast enough turnaround time to be able to make sets for adventures as they got announced, that'd be great.
We do not
But
anywhere near.
unfortunately, we have a much longer production timeline than a book has. So it's hard for us to make things to come out at the same time. Like
You
we
know,
got really lucky when we were doing Hellscape. Like as we were getting ready for the Kickstarter, like Avernus was announced and was a big thing. But then the pieces didn't actually get here until like a year later. So
so there's that.
I don't know.
You know who
Yeah.
does have Graveyard going on right now is Tabletop World. Though they have
Yeah.
that Kickstarter still cooking. They crested 100K. They unlocked a church. There's some cool stuff.
Yeah,
Cool
their
stuff
sculpts
going
is
there.
really good.
Yeah,
They
they're so
they do
talented.
that style of like terrain really, really well.
They're so talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Hmm.
It beats hunting for nuts and berries in the woods, boo boo. Wrong Yogi Berra, but that's alright.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah. It's his favorite Yogi Berra quote. Tabletop World's on my watch list. I've been thinking about going in on it, but like I've filled what little space I have in my apartment with minis so quickly, and I have a bunch of wildland stuff coming, and storage is becoming a real concern for me very quickly. The problem with working for um, the problem with working for a terrain company when you live in New York City is that it's extremely difficult to have space for a lot of miniature terrain in New York City.
It's extremely hard to have space. Period.
Yeah, but especially here.
Much less
Like,
having space in New York at all is really hard, and then you try and throw in a bunch of this nonsense, and it's like, whew. I'm not sure if I like this yet, but listen. I
I wish you guys made posters of builds with backgrounds so that my build could sit in front of it and make it look like it has more depth. We've talked about
yeah, people have asked.
we need to get on it. It's not like a priority for us, but we want to release images that can be used as backdrops.
Yeah, high res backdrop images would be amazing, and or sell
need to-
backdrops. Yeah.
We just need somebody to have the time to take that on and organize it and get it together. Just got here. What did you miss? We're trying a ridiculous new building technique. That light's working really well, actually.
I think so. We're trying underwater. We're trying to underwater flooded town.
Put the overlay over it and see how it reads under the overlay.
Yeah. It's gonna be kind of neat, and then especially if we. Whose idea was it to put gilded poison? Saying we could do, continue the rock formation, like the natural rock formation, up and above. So there's rocks above and below. It'd be pretty cool. And this is
So cool.
what the heck is that roof? It's amazing how fast I run out of space. Speaking of New York.
I mean, you would fill a 4x8 table with this build if you could.
I mean, I'd fill a 4x8 table with every build if I could.
Yes, exactly. It's been a problem before.
This is
Very cool.
cool.
Put some crystal caverns down beneath with crystals as ice formations.
Wait, what was it? Do it again?
Take some crystal caverns pieces underneath to have the crystals as like ice formations under the water.
Yeah, I haven't even started to figure out the ice. I'm just still trying to figure out.
We're trying to figure out the bones of the build right now. But like, this is a cool effect. I'm into this. It's like there's lightning if you enter the room. Yeah. like that crystal idea. It should look really cool. I'd love to see some transparent sheets like that with snow, like snow effect sheets.
That would be cool. There's a lot of territory that has yet to be explored for us with overlays.
Yeah, I mean, there's some entire biomes that we haven't even gone into yet, and then yeah.
I think this kind of works. It's like, all right. So, I'm gonna figure out that's gonna be up here. I don't love this yet, but like, what was it before the flood? Because you kind of want to sell the underwater thing, but then you also, if it was like a city, why did you build it like this in the first place? What were
Potentially
you
using some streets and some other scatter could help sell it.
Yeah, I think I'd rather use like street lamps and railings. Like, the streets are a hard commandment because they become a grid.
It seems more like this is a village too, so it would have a more open scatter plan, like dirt roads and like so. Street lamps, pillars, other stuff like that would make sense to kind of like indicate, oh, here's where the tailor was. Here's where, you know. Put an old tree stump in there.
Wait, we can do the tree through the.
You can do the spirit tree. Or yeah, you could have a tree that's like split. Oh.
The tree that's the plexiglass is gonna cause trouble.
Depending on the height, you could just put the balcony on top, or the balcony, the canopy on top, maybe, and get it to stay.
Yeah, I'd love to do. Maybe I'll pull the peg out of a thing and build it up, because I love to have the tree stump under and then build it up through. This is a mind bender a little bit, like.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really cool when we pull it off.
I'm not complaining. I'm just.
It's definitely a multi-stage build, but it's very cool. All right, let's actually Nate just get the drill out. No.
Ooh, yeah.
We did this last week. No.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you're here, who won the? Was it James Austin that won the?
Yeah.
I think it was James Austin that won the post. That shipped out today, I believe. So that should be on the way.
A one-of-a-kind
the one-of-a-kind Nate Taylor original.
I drilled an extra special hole in the top for you. That was the...
Stability will be an issue for the tree. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a canopy where the leaves hang down, basically past where the peg is. That would probably help balance it. I think the concern would be if the overlay is going to be able to support the weight.
I skip the plexi, go straight with the overlay, and then just drill a hole in the overlay.
You were just saying you needed more overlays. Can you really afford to damage one of the ones you have?
It's a tiny hole. It's a wafer thin.
Okay. All right.
The
drill's being used for Nate's Dragon.
You know what? Actually,
people saying they like the drill idea. I mean, Hami says just take out the pin.
I removed the I released the dragon. I finished it up last night. I didn't do the breath weapon or the base yet.
You showed him the dragon.
Yeah, he's here. I haven't finished. I didn't do his breath weapon or his base yet. But he's lovingly.
Oh God.
So
I wasn't watching the Slack call. I was watching the stream, so like I got like a delayed reaction.
Yeah, you came out really neat.
No, I like the flesh between the wings there. It's good. It's good color.
Yeah, I had fun. I asked on Twitter what color I should do, and I got like 9 different responses. I was like,
That's what happens when you ask the internet for an opinion.
Yeah, no, you came out really well. If we had a close-up camera, you could see. But
have you replaced your drill chuck?
Well, that's not for my main. That's for my impact driver. If I wanted to drill with my impact driver, so I have a drill and an impact driver. So, but anyway, I honestly, I got some dowels too. I think the drill thing is a great solution. I'll be honest. Like I don't know if jamming a dowel, putting him on a dowel is a better this yet. But
my favorite thing is that dragon technically could be here.
Yeah. It's a dragon, go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's something very satisfying about holding 2 pounds of metal while you're painting. It's just like,
I like that we got so wrapped up in trying to pull off this build that we haven't touched on any of the questions.
Oh yeah, what are their questions? Let's touch.
So the first was, has there been meetings about sci-fi yet?
No, but we are going to do a Sci-Fi Symposium in what is this? We're in April and May.
Yeah.
Eric is making me schedule it so that we can start figuring it out. So there's gonna be some sort of Sci-Fi Symposium where we sit down and we're gonna kind of figure out what the heck the game plan is and go from there. Because there's a lot of things we need to figure out. And then I don't know how we're gonna fit all this stuff in with what you're doing, but we're gonna get it moving. And
I think the main thing is to at least figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, figure out what we're making. We need to figure out what we're making and what the platform is. Like, is it a Kickstarter? Is it straight to web store? Who's our audience? What are we making? And then we go from there. And I think it's going to be like 10 pieces. Like we're going to try and do basically the smallest set possible. And then we get some caverns. No, I don't like that. I mean, obviously not the smallest set, but the smallest set to actually build something cool. And then we go from there.
Sci-Fi Symposium sounds perfect for the month, including Towel Day for all those galactic hitchhikers out there. Let's see, outside of that, after KSA and Sci-Fi, what is Nate most excited to work on?
You know what? I really want to go. I kind of want to go into castles again, having played with them. Yeah, I know it's a terrible idea, but because castles are a beast. But I don't know. There's something like, I want to do to castles what Dungeon of Doom did to dungeons. Right? There's so much we haven't yet done, and there's so much I learned from doing that first one, and there's so styles and things. There's just, I don't know, there's a lot that we're really excited to do. I also want to do the big Palisade Fort. Is still
the Frontier stuff. I need to show you Monster Hunters just to show you the designs there.
Wait, did I?
I think you would really dig it.
Yeah.
I think a while back there was some talk of a Dwarven Forge miniature Kickstarter. Is that still a thing? It's tough because we know that we heavily suspect that it wouldn't go over nearly as well as a big terrain Kickstarter.
Yeah,
so it's its own thing.
Stefan was championing it for a while, so it's I don't know. It's kind of, that one was, we left that ball in his court and sort of figure out what to do. It's I don't know. We're at some point. I guess last time
DM Kits Kickstarter.
Last time we talked about on the air, people weren't all that enthused.
Well, there's some people who aren't happy with us making minis at all.
This is true. There's some people who aren't happy with us no matter what we do.
But Odin Forge, thank you for the subs. You just gifted 10 subs.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a one-man hype train?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it didn't start a hype train this time.
What?
It's they don't go off of the size of it, but I think when 3 or 5 people or something sub or cheer bits in the same period of time. But also, we had a hype train before we officially started the stream, so I think we actually can't have another one for another hour.
Wait, what did you say? You could hype a bit or something?
So, either by subscribing or gifting subs or cheering bits, which is the currency bits? On Twitch.
How do you cheer a bit? What the hell? What does that even?
Cheer. So cheering is
you make me feel
spending
old.
Bits to give special effects to your message, basically.
Oh.
You use special emotes and stuff like that. It's a whole thing. You only get one hype train every couple hours. Yeah, so we're probably still on the hype train cooldown from.
We have to wait for the next train to come into the station. We're
Yeah. It also gives money to the streamer. Yes.
It does? A hype train?
Well, subscriptions and bits do. 1 bit is roughly worth 1 cent, and that
Ooh,
whole thing.
cool.
Um,
And you have to buy bits?
yeah, you buy bits. You can also get them by watching ads
Ugh,
on YouTube.
I've heard of this. Let me play around this for a second.
I want orchard trees to put in the wildlands, stump lumps, apples, and cherries. Yeah, a lot of people want us to do farms and stuff. Thatched roofs, maybe? We do have a thatched roof coming with KS8.
We have
With a little chimney for the fogger.
chimney. Oh man,
Chimney cricket.
Thanks. The other thing I'd really like to.
You cheer a bit when you want to show excitement, but what you're cheering for isn't super exciting. So instead of cheering a lot, you cheer a bit.
Oh boy. Who is that? They're my hero.
That's Hoppy Hippo.
It's the best.
People were saying if we go back to castles, we need like rounded walls.
Yes.
There are a lot of people saying that there's like a lot of stuff that we still need to do in castles.
Yes. This is a fact.
I'm curious to see how well a castle Kickstarter could do if we like nail the execution. You know? Because I think it's no secret that there were a lot of issues with KS4.
Did we make the large banks in ice? I don't think we did we?
Is that coming in the... Well, I guess we don't have a Banks pack coming yet, but
Huh.
if we do a Banks core pack, we should definitely make sure to include that.
Yeah. More. That's... Huh. Yeah.
I'd be interested in the castles too, though. Castles still seem crazy clunky to me. Yeah, that'd be one of the things, is how can we potentially make castles easier to build with, I think would be one of the goals if we go back to castles.
Yep. Make castles so that everybody can understand them. Would be pretty cool.
And of course, it would still have to be compatible with all the old castles.
Yep.
We need that cow ammo.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have to come back now. Now that we've talked about it, like including siege weaponry with cow ammo and stuff like that.
Once you see an animal carcass, you can't unsee that. Like, it's not,
Yeah. Animal Carcass is one of my favorite games.
What? I think catacombs are in our future in a big way too. Like.
Yeah, like the more I thought about it, like with how much people want to see expansions of catacombs, and there's been some like wanting to like expand sewers and stuff. The idea of doing like an underground Kickstarter at some point that is just basically like a Dungeon of Doom style campaign, but it's basically like themed dungeons of catacombs and maybe sewers and maybe a couple other things.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's a whole.
Because that's really what they are. Is they basically are just dungeons with a theme.
It's just a reskinned dungeon.
Yeah.
Dungeon with skulls. Dungeon with undeads. Where am I gonna go with this thing? Yeah, the problem with the banks are too limited. I want to do more. So many things.
Well, time to expand the banks options and eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
Are we doing a banks core pack?
I don't know, not currently, but that doesn't mean we won't.
Seems like something that should definitely go on the list eventually. Is having, because the banks are a big enough deal that it feels like having a good way to stock up on them.
This was the piece that someone was asking for in standard, with the LED.
Yeah, no, I love that piece. Yeah. One of my favorite beauty shots that we have is that slow pan across like that pedestal as it's like glowing and changing colors.
Yeah, that was a Michelle special. And there's runes carved into the facets of these crystals on here. Yeah, it's a really it's a cool.
Man, getting that in standard caverns and even in Underdoom would be interesting as well.
Underdoom would be a good.
That'd look incredible in Underdoom.
It would also be really cool if someone painted, like, the detail is sort of lost because it's translucent. There's something that could be done with, like, some of it was painted opaque. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. There's a lot of possibilities with
Someone mentioned longer runs of crenellations. That might help.
it. Yeah. Oh, there's 1,000 things
Yeah.
that would be. That's why the castle. The castle excites me because it's a big challenge. It's like it's a you know it's a mind bender. That one's a especially because we have a partially built system, or not partially built. We have we've done a first pass, so we have we've established a bunch of stuff so that it's I don't know, it's a fun, that would be a really fun one to try and wrap your head around.
Elephant castles.
Yeah.
Okay. Opaque, but the runes are transparent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like do opaque in between, all let those runes pop and whatnot.
After seeing KS4 Codex, there's a lot to live up to. Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing is, the problem is that there's a ton of stuff we could do in literally every biome, and it's just figuring out what to prioritize. Not just what biomes to prioritize, but then what to prioritize in that biome when we go there.
Well, and how do you make it it's got to be a standalone, you have to make it has to be an offer that stands on its own, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
I would I really modular boats, like ships, like big sailing ships. Is Topulus here? Tell him to log off because he'll freak out. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be that's trying to modularize sailing ship. That's another challenge I can really get into. How am I gonna do this? Let's try.
Is there any interest in desert/pyramid/oasis type Egyptian or Aztec builds? Do they already exist?
They do not already exist. I'm not as excited about that as I could be, and I don't know why. I guess sand doesn't excite me, but
It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
But yeah, I guess it feels really specific in a weird way. That
So I think the idea of doing, so it's like why we, it's why we haven't done it's why we didn't do just like plain grass tiles, in Dread Hollow, right? Is like, if it feels just like a big featureless thing, it's like, why not just make this a terrain tray?
yeah.
But I think there's a lot of room, especially with deserts. I think you're looking at different ways to do elevation, and not just dunes, but like the kind of rock formations that you get in deserts are fascinating.
There's a lot of interesting stuff that can be done in deserts, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of I guess pyramids. I don't know. There's a weird specificity to Egyptian. I guess it feels too much like we're ripping off the real world. Not that everything else we haven't done hasn't ripped off the real world, but I don't know how to describe it. There's something about
We want some way to punch it up to make it feel.
yeah, and we could figure out. I mean, we can figure out anything. We can but I have a crazy idea. I'm thinking if we put
Maybe do a specific race for a terrain like Dwarven or Elven or Orc.
yeah, dwarven pyramid or something. Dwarven non-human architecture would be just a really fun. That would be a cool one.
Yeah, we can do some of that with the facade system will let us kind of dress things up to give different aesthetics a little bit, but there's something to just the way that buildings are constructed differently in different cultures that
Yeah.
I know we were looking at some of the way the different ways that different cultures made their places of worship in particular are fascinating. The different takes on cathedrals and temples and chapels.
Yeah. Shrines of all types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating how much variety there is.
Agree.
There's some great maps of the Egyptian tombs.
Well, that
I
would
think
be
another thing
more.
too is it needs to be playable as well. And I
That
think that's where things get a little rough when it comes to like pyramids and dunes. Is how do we make them playable instead of just big things on the map?
Well, and I'd rather do tombs. Tombs is more exciting to me than pyramids, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
the general idea of
which could be done with catacombs.
yeah, or maybe there's a better like I don't know. There's something there. I don't know. Right now,
Give
I
us
think
enough time, and we will make everything in every environment. It's just
it's true.
figuring out like
What makes
the
sense
order of
next?
things,
Yeah.
what to do next. Elemental planes. Oh yeah, somebody's saying if we go back to Hellscape, we should lean into
Oh,
doing like Plane of Fire stuff and making like the Brass City
that would
and
be
stuff like
cool.
that.
Elemental, or just all like the other planes is a fun. Do a Feywild pack, a Shadowfell pack, a elemental pack. The Astral Sea we just sell. It's like just like a white terrain tray with an LED. It's like
That'd be sweet. We can kind of
this.
do the. So here's the thing. This is something that has come up a couple times in different conversations, and it's a combination of us like messing with things and also like uh, people in our community being creative.
Well, and
Um,
also, will people buy
I
it?
think I think we've got a pretty strong case for being able to do the plane of air. If you take the river Styx phantasmal filter, like that can be sold as clouds very easily. Um, and then when you take like the drift stones that are
Some
coming, like
floating.
the floating platforms and all that, I think you can mess with enough of the stuff that we've made already.
This is my close-up cam. We're oh wait, it's upside down. I'm holding it upside down so it'll be right side up, but I'm staring at it. It's upside down.
Astral
Using
Sea without well, the Astral Sea leads to Astral Boats. Yeah, we gotta have
yes,
something for the gift. You know,
modular astral boats, but they're invisible. Um.
they are
Oh
invisible.
wait. Right. So this is
Is it the Gith
okay.
Yankee that ride around on like astral boats?
Astral skiffs. The
Astral
Gith Yankee
skiffs.
and the Gith Sarai. Don't know.
It's the Gith something, I think. Yeah. Pirates, islands, beaches, skull rocks, traps, boats, docks, palm trees.
Yeah. All this. These are good nouns.
That's the thing is, yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that it definitely excites us. The idea of doing like a tropical environment where like we have like you can make beaches and islands, and then like I think a bulk of it would be like a ship system because you've got to have a ship system if you're doing that. Um,
Is Topulus having just a heart attack? Is he okay? This is a lot
well,
of
this is the stuff
excitement
that
for
he
him.
always talks about.
I know. I'm saying like he
It's
might. This is like this is too much. It's information overload right
it's the Gith that keep on githing.
here. Oh boy.
Gith Yankee, and the Gith ride on red dragons because of a deal with Tiamat.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Illithid pirates. That'd be a fun take. We do a modular ship system, and it's pirate ships and Illithid ships.
We just do Spelljammers. Okay. There you go.
I want to do Spelljammer so bad.
Why are they gonna say?
We need Spelljammer to be remade for 5e so we can do it.
As long as they rename it, I'm in.
You don't like Spelljammer as a name?
No, it just it's, that,
Why?
I've
Maybe
never
it's 'cause it
liked
reminds
it.
me of Windjammers, but
It just sounds stupid. It's just not like.
Spelljammer?
Oh, it kills me.
You play Magic the Gathering.
What's yeah? That has some of the best fantasy names in town. You kidding? Eli writes them. What?
I don't think I'm calling them out. I don't think Spelljammer sounds that bad.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like it
What?
sounds like a bad toy from the '90s. Hey kids, get your Spelljammer! 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 Swing it behind your back! It's a Spelljammer! It's
Are you trying? Are you trying to imply that like that level of cheese isn't like a D&D thing?
Yes, absolutely.
But like it's
Eberron does not like is awesome and dark and real and gritty and cool. All of Faerun, the Forgotten Realms. It's like I buy
You're
it.
saying it is from the 90s.
I know. It sounds like a period of its time. Like when it came out, I don't know, what was I 15, and I was like, that doesn't sound cool. And I was 15. I was the target audience. I was like a 15-year-old boy. I'm like, this is it. And I'm like, I love I like the content, thought it was awesome. And then Yogi and it was like, you know, it was cool flying around the Phlogian and all this stuff, but like the name just killed me. It still kills me. It just is so goofy, and like it just doesn't resonate with like as like this is like a modern it doesn't sound like it lives in the fantasy world. It's like
How does Spelljammer not sound fantasy?
A jammer?
Yeah, you're jamming spells.
You're flying through space. It's like...
Just call it Elves in Space with the deep voice.
Now I'm in.
Spell Trek.
See, you got me there. Spell Trek. This is like we're going through an adventure in the stars, you know? You know, Spell Wars. We're just out there to battle it out. It's just, it kills me. I cannot. That name, it burns the brain. Spelljammer. Why? How is that
Would
a
Realm
thing?
Slicer be better?
Realm Slicer? I'm into that. That sounds dangerous. Like, you know.
No. You can't say Spelljammer sounds stupid, but Realm Slicer is fine.
Yeah, dude, it's Realm Slicer. It's the
same format.
Yeah, but it sounds cool. It's
the
Jammer.
exact same format.
It's Jammer. Jammer. I'm done. I'm out. Jammer. They lost me at Jammer.
Okay. Magic Stuffer.
Magic Stuffer. Magic Skyboat is like, you know, like just anyone's Jammer. Just take the Jammer out, and I'm there. But I can't. I cannot.
I think all that happened was Spelljammer came out when you were in your rebellious phase and you were worried about looking cool.
No, I was never worried about looking cool. I never was cool. It never happened, and I wasn't. I was happily playing D&D and LARPing and not being part of any of it, and I loved all the stuff. And then I didn't even buy the book. I made my brother get it because I was like, I just can't even. This is like.
Nate hates jam.
I love jam. I just like jammers. I don't like jammers. Jammers. There's not a like.
Well, what do you wear to bed?
Nothing. We're not.
I guess you are an adult.
There were jams. Shorts. There were just like, jammers. Just not a. Seriously, does everybody put up a poll? See who likes the name Spelljammer. Do it straight out. We're gonna put up a poll. You should have a ranking. How bad is it? Is it awesome? Is it okay? Is it pretty bad? Or is it abysmal? Right? We need 4 categories.
For a good name, options are yes and yes. The poll's running for 3 minutes.
You're the worst. Oh, Spelljammer. Like, why? It's just... It just... Like... Nautiloid sounds cool, and it sounds like it looks, and it's like, ooh, that is dangerous, and like a Spelljammer, and the Spelljammer ship itself looks awesome. It's this flying magic manta ray like thing, and it flies through space and just shoots out fireballs. And, like, this is awesome, but it's a Spelljammer. It's just like, no, you can't.
Can I vote that I love the name, but I hate that it's the name for spaceships?
Yes.
I refuse to vote. So far it's a dead tie. Both yes and yes have 12 votes.
Oh, you're the worst.
Oh, yes is pulling ahead with 14 votes. Oh man.
It's an embarrassment. Speaking of embarrassment, where did I? Aha. I love when past me knows where to hide things, so that modern me will find it. I'm so upset we don't have the close-up cam. I guess I could try. I'm exhausted from ranting about Spelljammer. How did that get past? Like, how did the approval process on that name? So many people.
90s.
Yeah, but
it was the 90s.
Dude, there was lots of awesome stuff happening in the 90s. They did not need to include Spelljammer. No. Taste wasn't completely dead. That was like...
There were many worse things happening in the 90s than Spelljammer.
Not much.
I like Spelljammers because of Starjammers from X-Men. Photo finish between yes and yes. Yeah, that's true. There was it ended up being 50-50. So does Windjammer offend Nate? Yeah, because I think that's what it's pulling its name from is Windjammer, right?
What's Windjammer? Is that a kite? Just
like
jammer. You can't jam. Like, it just not... No. No jamming. No, it's not like a... It doesn't sound cool.
Windjammer is a type of ship with like a ton of masts on it. Like it's a huge sailing ship with so like
but it sounds
that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it better.
These are the people that came up with flumps.
Yeah.
Flump juice.
But at least a flump, like...
The Modern Slammer. Welcome to Spelljammer.
Can't even... Why Spelljammer? I just don't... It defies all logic.
I think
That's
it's fine.
No, it's not. Like, there's so many other cooler ships. Like a catamaran. That sounds, like, cool and dangerous and exotic. Like, why does it have to be a Spelljammer? Like, there's so many... Maybe that, maybe that's why they can't remake it. That's why they can't do it, is because they're like, you know what, we can't get over this name. We don't know how to bring back this semi-beloved property because we don't know how to get past the name. Like, people are really having a problem with it. I mean, has anyone ever complained about the name? Am I the only one that thinks the name is just the worst thing you've ever heard?
Well, I think you've started an uprising. Currently the poll sits at yes with 5 votes, no with 4 votes. Regarding is Spelljammer a good name? Yes has 6 votes, no has 4 votes, and there's 17 votes for just make modular ships.
I like how you really, it's a very, I like your polling process. It's very scientific and balanced.
I think I've got a future in it.
Yeah, something.
Spellweavers called Anunnaki, Spelljammers are Anujam. Just Make Modular Ships ends up winning with 22 votes. With yes in second place at 9 and no with 5. So
here's a wow. Okay. So let's say, here's a good hypothetical. Let's say we were to make modular fantasy spaceships, but we couldn't call them Spelljammers because I'm sure they copyrighted that nonsense. What do we... they were high-fiving each other in the room, like, yeah, Spelljammer, we gotta get a copyright on that quick. Get it, lock it down, trademarks. What do we call our modular... If we make modular fantasy spaceships, and we can't call them Spelljammers, what do we call them? And jammer is not allowed to be in the word. This is the only rule. We can call them anything you want, but jammer cannot be in the name. Because if we're gonna...
Taylor, Sword Crammer, Mage Jammies, Gel Spammer.
I hate everyone. You guys...
Mage Jellies is very good.
Mage Jellies.
Spellboats, Ham Jammer.
We're going to Ham Planet on our Ham Jammer.
Going to Ham Planet on the Ham Jammer.
I'm gonna get in the stream. I can't.
Hyperhelm, Astral Explorers, Planes Cruisers. Astral Cruiser would be kind of cool.
Astral Cruiser, not bad. Astral. What else can we work with Astral? I like Astral.
Ham boats, Dwarven Forgers. Beholder, please do not sue. Mage Marmalade. Laser Blasters. Arcanauts.
Ooh,
Astro Travelers.
Arcanauts.
Arcanauts pretty good.
Arcanauts.
Nate's Starjammers, Astral Navigator, Skyforgers, Astral Gliders, Astral Armada.
Skyforgers
would be a unit as opposed to the specific ship.
Skyforgers. Wait, what was the other one? The something not the Aeronaut. What?
Arcanaut.
Arcanaut. That one. Write that down. Arcanaut.
Astral Projectors. Astral Loop Gliders. Arclanders. Sky Eclipse. Toe Jammers.
Toe Jammers.
Astral Drifters. Astral Zeneca. Astral
Zeneca.
Dreadnought, Astral Wanderers.
Wait, the
Suppression
Astral Dreadnought's a
Fields.
creature. That's you can't do that.
Yeah.
The
Suppression Fields. Oh, the sailors could be called Astronauts.
astronauts. See, so here already in this brainstorm session of 30 seconds, we've come up with like 7 names that are better than Spelljammer. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, I feel like you're committed. I feel like you're conducting biased polling here. I feel like we need to stick with the scientific one and just make modular boats.
I know, but
Or
we need non-Spelljammers. Astronaut. Well, is it
Astral Issues, Windfish,
Windfish?
Eagle One, the Flying Winnebago, Astral Zephyrs, Astral Catamaran, Astral Wayfinder.
Zephyrs is it?
Zephyrs is pretty good.
Yeah.
A Zephyr alone sounds like it would be a class of an astral of some kind of astral ship. Like just the name Zephyr alone.
A Zephyr. It's a Zephyr class.
Or it would be like the name of one of these boats.
I already forgot. What was the one that ended in "not" that I liked?
Arcanaut.
Arcanaut. Right? It's a Zephyr class Arcanaut. Like closing. That's cool. That's fantasy sci-fi right there. Like that's.
I can't believe it's not Spelljammer. The crew are called Astral Mariners.
Ooh.
Jammer spell. Modular Arcanauts.
Jammer smell.
Cool. Zephyr is a light wind.
Yeah.
Nate needs to use Rune Cities. Astral Dinghy. Zephyrnauts. Everflight.
Astral Dinghy.
Astral Dinghy. Astral Divers. Astral Crusader. Astral Starfinder. Powered by Wyverstone cores. Oh, yeah.
See, already better than Spelljammer. All of this.
No.
Rune Riders.
You can't just decide it sounds better.
Rune Ride or Die.
Rune Riders.
See all of this. I mean, I would take Rune Riders. I would take it all. Any of it.
Wyverstoners.
That's yeah. This is the whole planet of Wyverstoners. They're just like
Astral Dinghy would be easy. Just take your existing modular boat and put it in space, just like Astral Lifeboats.
Just throw our boat in space.
Astral Scurvy. That's like part of the like extraplanar scurvy is like a serious concern.
Yeah.
For astronauts.
Astronauts. See
Moon
all
bouncers.
of this. What are they?
Moon bouncers.
Moon bouncers.
Astral currents. Did the space wizards hurt Nate as a child? Apparently.
No, see, I could even
I don't know why
take
he's developed this intense hatred for
Spelljammer.
one of the coolest settings ever made.
I'm not knocking the setting. I'm knocking the worst name they ever made. Like it just they didn't even try. They were like, how did they get past? Like, how did everybody give a thumbs up to that? They published books with it. They made a whole logo.
It was like 90s.
Doesn't matter.
And the ships had sunglasses.
The ships had
and all the Gith had backwards hats.
Yeah. They were
the ships all had wheels on the bottom. They were basically just
wheelies,
large skateboards with sails.
Dude, backwards hats were a thing.
Cosmo dwarves. The setting was as bad as the game. All right, now we're gonna need to. Oh, the name. Storm Riders collecting lightning in the storms. I hope Monty Cook isn't watching.
Did Monty name it? Dude, Monty, I'm coming after you, man. Why?
Gravity defilers. They also had flail snails and wore Jinkos. Yeah. Cosmic drifters. There's a lot of drugs in the 80s. It impacted their logic, Nate.
But here's the
space elves and Jinkos.
The flail snail, at least it wasn't a setting, right? You can ignore it. You can't ignore the name of the setting. Like, you can ignore all the other content, but you can't ignore the name of the setting. Like, it's just...
Well, I think it's nice.
Well... I'm happy you can live in your blissful ignorance.
Wow. Alright.
It's Spelljammer. Ugh.
What setting? Just step back. Orion Noir, you missed everything. It got bad. It got really bad for a minute. Astral Jingle Janglers.
I would take Astral Jingle Janglers over Spelljammers.
Space scuffing. I think you might need to report verbal abuse to HR. We don't have HR. The 90s were a tad. 90s were a tad time. Spelljammer's a rad name. Oh, the 90s were a rad time. No. Need to connect everything somehow. I think we were too fast to throw mage jellies aside. That's a good point.
Mage jellies. I'd take mage jellies over spelljammers.
Those are like the BBEs. It's just these giant oozes with ships. Planar surfers. Did I miss the keyword? Oh yeah, we haven't done the giveaway.
Let's do that.
We got super wrapped up in this build. We haven't done the fan build and the giveaway.
Mage jelly is our giveaway.
Yeah, Spelljammers is up against Dragonlance, Dark Sun, Greyhawk, Forgotten Realms, Ravenloft, etc. Spelljammer doesn't hold up. It's just different.
No, it's bad.
It's just different.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, it's like saying, Star Wars doesn't hold up to Lord of the Rings and Conan the Barbarian and all this stuff. Like, it's a different genre, basically. Calm down.
No, it's fantasy space. It's in the D&D world. It should they should have pride in what they do.
I think you've got a very limited view of what D&D can be, and it's okay for them to do other things.
As long as they don't name it Spelljammer, they can do whatever they want. I don't care. Like, we can go to every alternate reality, turn it on its head. I don't care. Just don't call it Spelljammer. Let's do this giveaway. It's already 9 o'clock. Holy moly! We didn't do our fan build.
This build was.
I didn't even make any.
Incredibly engrossing.
Yeah, more engrossing than Spelljammer.
What are we doing with the word?
Bird. We're doing
Mage jelly.
Mage jelly for sure.
Singular or plural?
Singular.
All right, Mage jelly, all one word, is the people wanted Hamjammer to be the word. Mage jelly, all one word, no space. If you want to be eligible for the giveaway. If you are international, you can get a $50 gift card for our store. If you are in the U.S., you can choose either a $50 gift card or a starter dungeon. If you want to be entered in that giveaway, just type in Mage jelly, all one word, exactly what everybody else is doing. Just spell it the way that nobody's spelling it wrong, so it's all good.
Hamjammer is what I'm calling it from now on.
Hamjammer?
Yep. We're going to Ham Planet and in our Hamjammer. I can't even. I just don't understand. Like every other, yeah.
It appears to not be working correctly for some reason. Give me just a moment. We might need to have everybody type Mage jelly again.
TSR is watching us. So like, what do you mean they're talking trash about Spelljammer? Shut them down. Shut them down. I guess it's not TSR. It's Watsy.
It's working now. Start typing Mage jelly now, and it'll work. The Pirates of Hamjammer.
The Pirates of Hamjammer. Come on, the Pirates of Hamjammer. That's yeah.
Mage jelly broke the spell jam. Yeah.
I can't. I just.
Man.
I don't even know.
Somebody's right. Yeah, like the last 15, 20 minutes of On the Anvil always go off the rails.
It's only 9 o'clock too. We didn't even I don't know.
I'm really excited to see this build take shape. It's definitely taking prep work, but it's
You can sort of see it from here a little, the trying to bury trying to bury this building in snow, and then this is going to be underwater. Let's put the water in. I don't know. I don't know. It's an experiment. We'll see what happens. I could have just done a simple build, but
everybody's asking when we had rails in the first place. It's there was ostensibly an order to this.
Were there ever rails? I don't know.
I mean, kind of. We were making a build. We were answering some questions. That's.
Did we answer any questions?
We answered what you're most excited to work on after KS8 and Sci-Fi, which was
not Spelljammer.
Fairly non-committal. Also, out of order comes chaos. Oh well, that was me. The last 15 minutes always goes off the rails. It gets a little weird. I mean, last time we created a one-of-a-kind piece and then auctioned it off.
Auctioned it off to the first free bidder. What does that look like?
Whoa, Black Betty, ham a jam.
Ham jam. I can't even. That talking about how much I dislike Spelljammer put me in a really good mood. It's like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
just
like
so
I want
stupid.
Spelljammer
I
to come
just
out and
don't
play me so badly.
understand it. Oh,
The dreaded Hamjammer approaches from a cloud of methane.
what? Why not? Like, if you're gonna choose one of the spaceships to name it after, why not just call it Nautiloid? Like, why did they have to go like? Why Spelljammer?
Nautiloid's not a good name for a setting.
Neither is Spelljammer. If you
Yes, it is. You remember it, don't you? You're never gonna forget the word Spelljammer.
Yeah, because it's burned into my brain. Of like,
Think of all the merchandising opportunities.
no. It's,
You can make a TV show called Spelljammer. You make a board game called. You make a little board game called Spelljammer. Make sure you put the mic in front of you.
you could also make that show or that board game or that T-shirt about something that had a good name. It doesn't need to be Spelljammer. Like it could. Anyway.
Spelljammer gives you Spelljammer immediately sets the tone for what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Like
leaving the session, you're gonna be like, I don't want. This is nonsense. I can't die.
it was almost Dragonstar. Yeah, Dragonstar is not a very good name.
Dragons.
I'm glad they went with Spelljammer instead. Oh, should we do the fan build?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And let's do the. Oh boy. Oh wait. Let me use my special thing. Now that I'm at the computer, I'm gonna pretend I wasn't. There you go. Fan mail. Look at that. It's like so.
Yeah. We have the thing. So this is somebody who just newly joined the Discord, Bellis Clops, and posted this 2x2 tavern build. They did like a nice little elevation with some balconies and everything, and it looks like a good use of the stairs. Some nice little market scatter.
Nice place to go eat. Have a.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see. I don't know. I like these little environments. I like the idea of I guess what I like about seeing stuff like this is people say oh I want to make builds for where encounters are going to happen. I'm like, you could have an encounter happen here.
Oh, for
Do you imagine
sure.
using market stalls for cover and
Oh yeah, you could do all
all
sorts
stuff?
of. You could flood this thing, put it underwater. What's I wonder if there's a whole basement built because it's built on sewers. There's
Yeah,
a sewer grate in the lower left, lower bottom right. So I wonder if there's a whole sewer build underneath there.
They didn't share anything, so I would assume there isn't. But
ask them.
yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Point is, yeah, I think you can do a really cool encounter here. I love the details of people up on the balconies. Man, could you imagine the party? Oh, could you imagine the party is just eating here? It's they need so they just got back from from deposing this corrupt ruler or something, and they get here and the balcony is suddenly filled with assassins.
Dude, and then a ham jammer lands. We're going into space, boys. And they
radical.
Yeah, they flip their hats around backwards and they get out their skateboards and they go. And they're ready. Their sunglasses.
They introduced their new party member, Poochie.
Remember the Poochie episode?
Yeah. We're going to Ham Planet.
Buckle up. Where we're going. We don't need Spelljammers. All right, let's roll this. Let's roll this giveaway. People have gone through enough. They deserve their giveaway. This is
All right, and we're rolling. Lady Di Lee, you have won either a gift card or a starter dungeon.
Woo! Congratulations. Wait, what was
where we're going? We don't need ham because they
Planet.
have plenty of it there already.
It's a whole planet.
We can just get it when we arrive.
What was the one I forgot again? The Arcanaut.
Arcanaut, yeah.
Arcanaut's
pretty good.
Astral. There were 100 names that came up that were better than Spelljammer.
Yeah, it'd be really they'd be really good names for us to use since we won't be able to use the superior name Spelljammer during our Kickstarter where we make modular
non spell jammers, mage jellies.
Yeah.
Ham jammers. We're just gonna call them ham jammers. We call the whole Kickstarter Ham Planet. Ham jamming your way to Ham Planet. Kickstarter 12.
I believe we already have your information from the anniversary game stuff.
Woo!
So you just let me know if you want to do a gift card or the starter dungeon, and I can get that set up. Boats in space. Yes.
Yeah.
The Ham Jammer versus the Arcanaut. Oh man, some kind of like competitive like astral skiff racing.
It's like pod racing in space. Oh,
pod racing in space. I mean, I guess pod racing is technically, well, no, they do it on planets.
But Ham Planet.
A space traveling society.
Yeah. Oh.
Forge Jammer returns a Ham Planet of the Games.
Forge Jammer.
All right.
So we did a giveaway. We started a thing. I just voiced my displeasure in the name Spelljammer.
The people 5 BPC named Bram Slamhammer.
So, at least people know for the record where I stand on Spelljammer.
Yeah.
Forever. Don't get me wrong. I love D&D, but man, Spelljammer, terrible name.
Yeah, I think you've made it
terrible name.
Clear.
Just embarrassing. They just didn't even try. Like they just.
Have you sent my gift card yet? It should be. I'll follow up on it. I'm pretty sure it was overboard, but I'll check real quick.
I think. Did you vote for Spelljammer or against Spelljammer? That might have affected.
Yeah, because it should have been sent. I'll check. I'll follow up on it.
Oh, do some of these ice walls.
Cool. You're just looking at the build now. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need more time to build it. That's gonna be a long build.
I haven't even scratched the subsurface, so to speak.
Really could not tell that Nate did not like the name Spelljammer. Yeah, well, we'll try to make it.
As a creative person, and we have some stupid names from our things, but we spent a long time trying to plus the names, right? We sit there and we'll just yell out names for a while until you're just sometimes you can't do it, but you're chipping away at it. You're trying. You don't just pick the first thing that came up and run with it, print it.
Who is next month's villain for the build of the month? It's gonna be Meta Elite. He's gonna be doing the voiceover.
Introgus.
They came up with the short pitch for the god that we're now making.
Yeah.
And we're making a supplement to go with this build of the month now, to explain this god that we're making and everything. It's gonna be fun.
It's really fun. I really enjoy the the building of the build of months are really fun for me now, where everybody's throwing in these really cool ideas, and it's it's a really great fun collaborative process. It's fun to take all this. As I literally just started with a bucket of pieces and ended up with a neat little story and a thing, and it should be cool.
Wildjammer was clearly the superior name for Wildlands.
Wildjammer. The Wild Jams? We're just going at... Welcome to the Wild Jams. Just
we do have one more question.
It's just where all the jam bands live in the wilds. They're out, they're just free range out there in the Wild Jams. Oh no, what's this question? I can't even.
What are Nate's thoughts on Spelljammer?
Really, great name, great system, great.
Perfect.
They weren't trying to cash in.
Clip it there, clip it right there.
It was Monty, right? It was Monty Cook with the. It's totally.
Somebody posted a thing earlier. It wasn't Monty.
Skip Williams.
Somebody posted. Where is it?
Jeff Grubb.
It was Grubb. It was Jeff Grubb's brainchild.
It's because it feels Monty Cook-esque too. I could see him going off into things. Yeah. Well, Jeff Grubb was really into the outer, right? He did the Manual of the Plains too, and he was yeah.
Bro, you gonna catch Captain Hambone and the Hamjammer's Jamboree? It's been a Jamboree.
Well, I would love to meet Jeff Grubb and just ask him where did the name, so.
Just want to have a nice, calm conversation with him.
If I had a time machine, I could just go and change one thing. I would go back and I'd get to the boardroom wait, stop! You're making a terrible mistake. Stop. This is it. Don't.
You saying you wanna use you wanna use your spell jammer to
Yes.
sail between the planes to go back in time
Yes.
and
To change the name of Spelljammer. Yeah.
dirigibles in space. Trivia: which world is not connected via the phlogiston? Or phlogiston?
Ooh.
There's only one apparently.
Dark Sun?
Probably. I think Orion Noir really likes Dark Sun, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dark Sun.
Well, just because it's already there's anti-magic things. I mean, it's got. I know Greyhawk and was it Orith and Corinne and Toril are all in there, and
Turns out it was Dark Sun.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, David Moffat guessed it correctly. It turns out they hadn't thought of the name Spelljammer until you went back in time to tell them not to use it.
And then like, brilliant! This is it. Some future guy showed up and told us the thing, and like gave us.
I don't remember most of what he said, but I remember he said
He was
Spelljammer
some
a lot.
raving mad wizard showed up and said Spelljammer, and they're like, all right, we got it. It's like a time travel.
Texas RPG Con. Oh man, I would love to start doing conventions again.
I think Gen Con might actually happen. We'll see.
Have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Now that we're, I feel like now that I feel like we're getting over the vaccine hump, at least in the office. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think almost all of us have our first dose now.
By yeah, just about. I don't know who. I have lost track, but I know that the tail end of this month might be rough because a whole bunch of us are all getting our second dose like in the same week.
Yeah, I realized you and I are both getting our second dose.
The day of on the Anvil.
The day of On the Anvil. So that night, the stream. If you're talking about a stream going off the rails, depending on how quickly
somebody better bring up ham jammer and see where it goes.
That might need to be like a vaccine recovery stream. We'll see. It depends on because we'll be doing the stream roughly 7 hours after we get the second dose. So we'll see when it kicks in.
What is the planet of Dark Sun called?
Probably not Ham Planet. I can see that origin story being retold in Dragon Magazine. Ravenloft and Mystara didn't fit into Spelljammer as well. It's gonna be quite the stream. You guys are gonna be struggling. Yeah, probably.
Wait, Ravenloft is a demiplane of dread.
On this episode of Off the Anvil, either starts to fill it until 12 hours later. Okay, cool. So it'll be once we wrap the stream.
It'll be
suddenly we're gonna feel it. Hey, the good news is, at least after we get the second dose, you'll be able to control the stream deck like with your mind. So that'll be cool.
It's not working yet. I'm trying.
Gatorade in 7-inning stretches to keep the arm from getting sore.
Yeah.
I like that. Like 2 people here know about those streams. Athos.
That's.
Athos was the Dark Sun.
Athos, Porthos, and D'Artagnan.
Yes. Well, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis are the 3 Musketeers, and then D'Artagnan is the 4th. Yeah. I know a lot about the 3 Musketeers because I wrote a children's theater adaptation of it in high school.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Well.
D'Artagnan.
On that note, let's call it a night. We gave our giveaway away. We did our fan build. We talked about our love of Spelljammer. We started a build. I don't know what else did we miss anything important in the episode? I didn't actually bring out any power tools or cut anything or.
That's for the next episode when you decide where you want all your trees to be. So then you mutilate all of your water overlays to allow for the tree pegs. Yeah. This stream kind of just flew by. I don't know.
Yeah. I have one of the overlays. I drilled a hole through so the fogger could go through the necrotic sludge patch. So I did it through the fogger. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Little hole. It's like. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We have Hobby Hang tomorrow. What's anything special happening on the Hobby Hang in tomorrow?
Not in particular. We started reaching out to guests, so hopefully we'll start slanging some on soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be at the hang tomorrow, but...
Chipping away at your pile of opportunity?
Yeah, it depends on the stuff I'm working on tomorrow. It depends on how long that takes. If I'm gonna be able to be on the stream or not.
Cool.
Can you guys do another giveaway that only I can win? No, 6. It's rather a fun night showing.
Has 6?
Yeah, but next week we're gonna have a lot of Wildlands test shots to show. Hopefully, if they get here in time, they're supposed to.
6. We promise you, if you haven't won anything by next year's anniversary stream, we're gonna have a special prize just for you.
That stream's gonna be all about you if you haven't won anything by then.
Yeah, there will be a special. I'll drill some holes in a piece just for you. Set it out there or whatever. Oh,
He's gonna drill like 10 holes in them. It's gonna be, you're barely even gonna recognize the piece anymore. That's how many holes he's gonna drill in it.
6 would be the appropriate number.
6 holes.
There's 6
yeah.
of them. Huh? But we'll send you something if you haven't won anything by then. We'll send you something.
Is it cattails? Did we ever give away that cattails prototype? Was that a thing we gave away or no? I remember some point people were asking about a cattails prototype. I can't remember if we actually did it or not.
I don't know.
Yeah. Someday we'll bring those cattails back.
Yeah.
Someone did get the cattails? Cool.
Nice.
At some point during Wildlands, we gave it away.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I'd like to give things away.
Yeah, dude, we used to do so many giveaways like back in the early days of the channel, and it was just like we need to put the brakes on this a little bit.
Just hit the rails. Oh yeah, on that note.
Right. Let's get out of here.
Back on the rails, going to bed. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you hanging out with us and putting up with our rants about how awesome Spelljammer is not. It's just thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and be good to each other. Be safe. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm at Nate Taylor, and where are you? You're on Discord. Where do you like to be followed?
I'm on the Discord, not home. You can find me on Twitter at Chris London Film. I'm also on the Discord. If you go on the Discord, I'm always there.
Always.
Yeah. And yeah.
And be sure to follow us, Stormforge, down here below. And we'll see you next week. Well, hopefully we'll have a bunch of test shots to show from Wildlands and who knows what else. Oh. Thank you guys. Good night.